My name is Bert, and this is the Still Life Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Still Life Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bert. Today, I am sick and tired. That's it. I don't feel well. I'm exhausted. I slept almost 12 hours last night. I'm wiped out. I don't know what's going on. My son had RSV, so I don't know if I have some form of that or what the deal is. I'm exhausted. I have a headache. I'm just tired. I hate missing work, but the kids' daycare is closed for the week and didn't have coverage for today, so I had to take the day off to spend with the kids, which has been good. They've been able to play and just enjoy some time not traveling between homes, not worrying about getting up early for school, daycare, I guess. Just kind of relaxing and playing and just enjoying being at home. But man, I feel terrible as the day goes on. Been having some issues with my hosting website. I would assume it's on my end. I can't seem to figure out what the deal is. So this is the second of two episodes you're going to receive today. The other one was actually recorded last week, but I haven't been able to get it uploaded until, of course, you listen to it. So, man, I'm about a month in at work. Things are going well. Within the second week of being there, I was handed responsibility and I led a crew. And now here I am at about the 1 month point, and I am leading several crews overseeing a large project, which is pretty freaking awesome. I feel like it's the first time in a long time where someone took my leadership experience seriously, and not only took it seriously, but gave me a legitimate opportunity to lead. While my background is different from the industry that I'm in, which is essentially light industrial construction industry. It's less physically intense than brewing and distilling, thankfully. And also, being in my position, I'm overseeing, coordinating, and directing traffic, per se. So, not super physical at all. And it feels really good to have been handed this responsibility and to be thriving with it, to be leading people and kind of directing workflows. While I have no construction experience, I know how to read blueprints, and I do know how to lead people pretty well. And so the management saw that out of the gate and have just kind of let me run with things and have been giving me more responsibility. Now, since I'm a contractor, obviously I don't get a raise. I think I'm maxed out on pay as a contractor with the contracting company that I'm at. So I can't really get a pay raise. However, when I'm able to convert to a permanent employee, there is mutual interest in making that happen. That said, I can say with certainty that this is not my final landing place. This is a transitionary job, a transitionary career. This is something I've never said before in my adult life. Everything was, oh, this could be it. This could be the one. And now I'm going into this knowing that, there's a 99% chance this isn't going to be permanent. I'm looking at other opportunities, not because I don't enjoy what I'm doing, but because there are other things that I want to do. I'm not going to talk about those things right now because that's really not the point of all of this. The point really is that for the first time in forever, really, I'm okay with this not lasting forever. I'm okay with this not having permanence. It is temporary. It may be temporary for 6 months. It may be temporary for 5 years until that next thing comes. But I walked in the door knowing that I would not be spending the rest of my life doing what I'm doing. Could that change? 100%. Yes, it could. And I'm open to that. But as of right now, this is not my final landing place. This is not the end-all be-all for me. there are other things I would like to be doing where I feel like more of my talents, skills, and abilities can be put to good use. So it's a comforting position to be in, knowing that something else is coming, and to be kind of looking out for that opportunity rather than just like, oh, this is good, this is it, this is where it ends for me. Because I've found out that throughout my professional career, that's most oftentimes not the case, whether it's from my own doing or, someone else's. Transition happens. Excuse me. Again, I'm tired. So, with that, I'm in this unique position of comfortability, being where I am, but I'm also comfortable moving on to something else. And that's an interesting position to be in, something, like I said, I haven't experienced before. But it brings me this overwhelming sense of peace, knowing that my body, in fact, is not at rest, but actively looking for that next thing and the thing that I would rather be doing. Now, I will say with that, I don't love the hours that I work. I work 10-hour days, 5:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and the occasional Saturday. I'm up every morning at 4:15 a.m. That's why you're not getting a lot of content from me right now on the podcast, because I just don't have the energy for it. By the time I get home and take a shower, sometimes I eat dinner, sometimes I just go to sleep. So, and again, excuse me, I am quite tired. I'm trying to maintain my train of thought while I have these sinus issues and everything else that's going on. Not feeling 100%. So I haven't decided if I'm going to take tomorrow and Saturday off. Right now I'm on the fence. We'll see if my condition continues to deteriorate over the course of the afternoon into the evening. With that said, man, it's been a week. It's been a month. It's been good. I'm really freaking tired, particularly today. I can't seem, to stop yawning, but also something else has been on my mind lately. I've been thinking a lot about this the last several days, particularly. We're given infinite number of opportunities to be kind to each other. People we know and people we don't know. But for whatever reason, so many times we often choose to not be kind to other people. Not being kind can come in many different forms, rather than, seeing somebody that needs help and choosing to not help, or, especially when we have the means and the ability to, not looking after our brothers and sisters. If you see somebody having a problem that's a little bit down, not taking the time to ask them if they're okay. And in general, like in traffic, I find myself doing this a lot. I'm a jerk sometimes. I don't let people in because they're going faster than me, or they're just speeding. I may already be speeding, but they're speeding faster. And it's like, no, get in line. It's like that elementary school mentality of, oh, you're cutting in line, go to the back of the line. And it's all crap. Who cares, At the end of the day, I don't know where that person's going. Maybe they're rushing home to see their children that they haven't seen in weeks, or they're headed to the hospital to go visit a family member or a loved one. Or, maybe they're on their way out of town because they just need a break. I don't know these things. None of us do. Yet, we treat everybody like they're frickin' a-holes, and in turn, we become the a-hole. Bottom line. Because we believe that our journey is the most important when we're on the road. When in fact, 9 times out of 10, I would say 9.9 times out of 10, it's not. Our journey is not the most important journey when we're on the road. And I find myself, when I leave work now, I am a lot more apt to drive the speed limit. I get home at the exact same time as I do if I speed. So why get all amped up and fired up to get home when I'm going to get home at the exact same time, regardless of the speed in which I travel, because it's rush hour? I'm going to get home in about 45 minutes, whether I drive 65 or 75 to 80. So why put myself in that position? Why put myself in that situation? Do I deserve to get home before everybody else? Am I the most important person on the road? Absolutely not. And it's like driving on the road is our personality and our priorities personified. It's a direct representation of how we treat people in every other facet of life. Sometimes I'm nice to people, sometimes I'm not. And that's magnified 100-fold when I'm in my car. Sometimes I'll be nice and let a semi-truck in because I know a lot of people don't like to give those guys the time of day, and they have a hard time getting in and out of traffic, especially when it's busy. But somebody in a sports car that's zipping ahead of people, I'll close the gap and I won't let them in because it's a lot easier for them to get in and out of traffic. But what makes that okay? How do I justify that in my own head? It's all excuses and it's all crap. It doesn't mean anything. So at the end of the day, pay attention to how you drive, because it's a direct reflection on how we treat other people. Drive nicer, be nicer. And with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me today on the Still Life Podcast. As always, for questions, comments, topic ideas, or suggestions, you can reach us, the Still Life Podcast, at gmail.com. That's the Still Life Podcast at gmail.com. Don't forget to check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Still Life Podcast, and Twitter at Still Life Pod. And don't forget to share this with your friends, because this is how the podcast grows. You share with one person, they share with one person, and it continues to grow. Thank you for your support. And thanks again for joining me today on the Still Life Podcast. We'll talk again soon.